यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरा वनचारि यमुनातीरा वनचारि जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरा वनचारि यमुनातीरा वनचारि जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Subhadramai, Jaya Sudarshan, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Subhadramai, Jaya Sudarshan, Jaya Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha, Jaya Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Ananta Dev, Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Ananta Dev, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Ananta Dev, Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Ananta Dev, Jaya Gauranidai, Jaya Gauranidai, Gauranidai, Jaya Gauranidai, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Shila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Shila Prabhupada. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। Hare Krishna, say भक्तों को प्रणाम. So today we will discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3rd, Chapter 21st, and verse number 16. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtabrayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhakti Nashtiki. श्लोक पढ़ेंगे. प्रजापतेस्ते वचसाधीशतन्तया लोकन् किलायं कामहतो अनुबद्धा अहं च लोकानुगतो वहामि बलिं च शुक्ला निमिषाय तुभ्यं. प्रजापतेस्ते वचसाधीशतन्तया लोका किलायं कामहतो नुबद्धा अहं च लोकानुगतो वहामि बलिं च शुक्ला निमिषाय तुभ्यं. प्रजापतेस्ते वचसाधीशतन्त्या लोका किलायं कामहतो अनुबद्धा अहं च लोकानुगतो वहामि बलिं च शुक्ला निमिषाय तुभ्यं. आप में से कोई रिपीट करना चाहेंगे? ज्योति माता जी, मणि माता जी, शांत प्रभु. Any devotee would like to repeat the shloka? Okay, so let's proceed for the word-to-word translation. Prajapati, who are the master of all living entities, they of you, Vachasa, under the direction, Adhish, O my Lord, Tantaya, by a rope, Lokaha, conditioned souls, Kila, indeed, I am these, Kamahataha, conquered by lusty desires, Anubadha, are bound, Aham, I, Cha, and Lok Anugataha, following the conditioned souls, Vahami, offer, Balim, oblations, Cha, and Shukla, O embodiment of religion, Animishaya, existing as eternal time, Tubhyam, to you. Translation. O my Lord, you are the master and leader of all living entities. Under your direction, all conditioned souls, as if bound by rope, are constantly engaged in satisfying their desires. Following them, O embodiment of religion, I also bear oblations for you, who are eternal time. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the Kat Upanishad, it is stated that the Supreme Lord is a leader of all living entities. He is their sustainer and the awarder of all their necessities and desires. No living entity is independent. All are dependent on the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the Vedic instruction is that one should enjoy life under the direction of this Supreme Leader, the personality of Godhead. Vedic literatures like Ishopanishad direct that since everything belongs to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one should not encroach upon another's property, but should enjoy one's individual allotment. The best program for every living entity is to take direction from the Supreme Lord and enjoy material or spiritual life. A question may be raised, since Kardam Muni was advanced in his spiritual life, why then did he not ask the Lord for liberation? Why did he want to enjoy material life in spite of his personally seeing and experiencing the Supreme Lord? The answer is that not everyone is competent to be liberated from the material bondage. It is therefore everyone's duty to enjoy according to his present position, but under the direction of the Lord or the Vedas. The Vedas are considered to be the direct words of the Lord. The Lord gives us the opportunity to enjoy material life as we want. And at the same time, He gives directions for the modes and processes of abiding by the Vedas so that gradually one may be elevated to liberation from material bondage. The conditioned souls who have come to the material world to fulfill their desires to lord it over material nature are bound by the laws of nature. The best course is to abide by the Vedic rules that will help one to be gradually elevated to liberation. Kardam Muni addresses the Lord as Shuka, which means the leader of religion. One who is pious should follow the rules of religion, for such rules are prescribed by the Lord Himself. No one can manufacture or concoct a religion. Religion refers to the injunctions or laws of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that religion means to surrender unto Him. Therefore, one should follow the Vedic regulations and surrender unto the Supreme Lord, because that is the ultimate goal of perfection in human life. One should live a life of piety, follow the religious rules and regulations, marry and live peacefully for elevation to the higher status of spiritual realization. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Syam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udabadgamlam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrijatam Sehagana Raghunathavidam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतम सावधूतम परिजना सहितम कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखा वितांश हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय पांचाकल्पतरुभ्य शुभ्रा सिंधुभ्य पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निजनामिन नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। Hare Krishna. So we welcome you all for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. And before starting, I would like to take blessings of all the devotees here so that I can do the service that is given to me of sharing something from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Is my voice clear to everyone? Or is there any background noise?
Clear, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, your voice is clear, Prabhuji.
My voice is clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, Shyam Prabhuji is saying yes. Okay, thank you, Prabhuji, for confirming. So before starting the today's shloka, I thought maybe I'll discuss on the background, why we are in this current shloka, what is the background, from where we are coming. So this is the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So coming from the first canto, so we will do just a quick summary of what happened and why we are in this particular pastime and who all are the speakers in this particular verse. So in the first canto, there is setting the scene. For example, in Bhagavad Gita, we have the setting the scene chapter, the battle, the first chapter which sets the context for Bhagavad Gita. Similarly, in Srimad Bhagavatam also there is setting the scene where we see the Parikshit Maharaj, he gets a curse from a Brahman boy, and that's how the Srimad Bhagavatam starts. So Srimad Bhagavatam, in the very first chapter, there is a conversation between Sut Goswami and Shonakadi Rishi, and that conversation finally leads to the discussion between Shukdev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. So Sud Goswami is narrating that particular discussion that happened between Parikshit Maharaj and Shukdev Goswami. So in the second canto, Parikshit Maharaj, whatever questions he was having, so he asks those questions from Shukdev Goswami and he gets all the answers in that. And once all the questions are over, then Parikshit Maharaj, because he was very eager to hear, he is not like, okay, a question is asked, I got the answer, okay, then it's fine. He's very eager to hear Hari Katha. So that eagerness is there in his attitude. Even in 10th canto, like when we read Krishna book, many places we heard, like when Shukdev Goswami tried to skip something, so Parikshit Maharaj will tell, wait, like, what happened here, why like that? For example, when Aghasur was killed, Shukdev Goswami told like Aghasur was killed, but nobody talked about it till 1 year. And then Parikshit Maharaj immediately was like, wait, why there was no discussion for 1 year? What actually happened? Then Shukdev Goswami narrated the Brahma Vimohan Leela. So like this, we can see in Srimad Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj is very eager to hear Harikatha. Whenever Shukdev Goswami wants to, escape or go fast forward, immediately he'll stop. Okay, please tell in more details. Same way, in the first canto, there was a discussion of, there was a description of Vidur. And it was mentioned that Vidur finally had to leave the kingdom because of the bad attitude of Duryodhan. So Parikshit Maharaj is asking Shukdev Goswami, can you please tell more about Vidur? What actually happened when he left home? So then Shukdev Goswami says, okay, very nice question. And then he tells Vidur actually went and meets Uddhav. And then Uddhav tells that Lord has actually disappeared. And before disappearing, he actually gave some instructions, final instructions to Uddhav. And that is known as Uddhav Gita, which comes in 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then Vidur says, okay, Lord has given you some final instructions. Why don't you tell me? So Uddhav says, see, when I was hearing those instructions, Maitre Muni was also there. And it won't be appropriate that I tell you these things, although there is a very senior devotee nearby. So you please go to Haridwar and listen all those conversations from Maitre Muni. That will be more appropriate. So Uddhav could have told, but he redirected Vidurji to Maitre Muni. So then Vidur goes to Maitre Muni, and when he goes there, so there was a lot of discussion between Vidur and Maitre Muni, and then Vidur asks, can you please tell me about the creation, how the creation happened? Can you please tell me it in more detail? Okay. So then Maitre Muni starts talking about the creation, how it happened, how Brahma created different living entities. Like over the past few months, we were discussing how Brahmaji created different living entities, like first he created ignorance and then different living entities he created. Okay. And finally, after the creation, he tells then that he created Manus. And in that he created Sambhu Manu, so that the process of creation or basically the living entities can come into existence, right? So for that Manu is required. So Manu came, and first Manu was Sambhu Manu. and then there was he was told that Swayambhu Manu had 5 children: Uttanpad, Priyavrat, Akuti, Prasuti, and Devhuti. So in the third canto, currently the pastime that we are discussing, that is related to the Manvantar of Swayambhu Manu. And here we have Kardam Muni. So Kardam Muni is actually praying to the Supreme Lord. And finally, Supreme Personality of Godhead, he appears in front of Kardam Muni. And Kardam Muni is asking, I want to get married. Please get me some wife. Please, whatever you feel, who is good for me, for my spiritual life as well as material desires, who can satisfy, please give me appropriate wife for that. Now the question is why this particular discussion is coming, why this particular Kardam Muni's pastime is coming, not of some other, like Swayambhu Manu had 5 children. Why only discussion of Devhuti is coming here? Because Kardam Muni will ultimately get married to Devhuti. So why this discussion is coming? So it is like Devhuti begot a son, and his name was Kapil Muni, who was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So although Akuti is there, Prasuti is there, but the life of Devhuti is very important and significant, because because Devhuti begets Lord Krishna as her child. Okay, and that's where the Kapil Shiksha or the Sankhya philosophy comes. So that's a very important pastime. So that's why Maitre Muni narrates this particular pastime. Okay, this is how this happened. So currently we are in this place where Kardam Muni is actually praying to the Supreme Lord, and he's asking, oh my Lord, please give me some wife so that I can satisfy my lusted desires. So that is the current context. So the verse that we just read, I will repeat it again once more. Oh my Lord, you are the master and leader of all living entities. Under your direction, all conditioned souls, as if bound by rope, are constantly engaged in satisfying their desires. Following them, O embodiment of religion, I also bear oblations for you, who are eternal time. Okay. So this particular verse is being spoken by Kardam Muni. And who is present in front of him? The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, is present before him. Okay. So here in the purport, Prabhupada says, in the Kat Upanishad, it is stated that the Supreme Lord is the leader of all living entities. So we will discuss about this word leader first. So who is actually a leader? So we can find a lot of leaders, like people say, okay, he's a leader, that person is a leader, another person is a leader. So generally, like if someone teaches you how to make money, people call, okay, that person is a leader. Someone may say, okay, this person can tell you how to start a business. Some people say, okay, that person is a leader. Someone may be a CEO of a very big company, and people say, okay, he's a leader. But actually, in the strict sense, they are not leaders. Why? Because we are discussing about Bhagavatam, and Bhagavatam talks about a lot of leaders, and who is actually a leader, who is qualified to be a leader. So leader is a person who knows the goal of life. What is the goal of life? He is aware of that goal of life, and he tells other people, okay, this is the goal of life which you should target for. And if we see the people who claim themselves to be leader, most of the people who are claiming to be the leaders, where are they leading the people in general? They are leading the people to hell. They are not leading the people to Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if we see the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it's all about leaders. There are a lot of leaders in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So we can take example of, for example, Narad Muni, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Pandavas, Parikshit Maharaj. So many leaders are there in the Srimad Bhagavatam. They are all wonderful personalities, and there are description of lot of kings. For example, currently we are talking about Swayambhu Manu's pastime. Okay, so Swayambhu Manu is a king, and then we have Vavasvat Manu, who was first instructed in the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So lot of kings, lot of sages. So these are all leaders because they know what is the goal of life, and by their own personal example, they teach others that this is the goal of life, and they help others to reach the goal of life. So here Kardam Muni is saying, Oh my Lord, you are the original leader of all the living entities. Okay, so that is what Kardamuni is praying here. And then comes the part about the people are bound by the rope. Okay, so in that basically Lord bound everyone in material energy. The way Lord Krishna has created this material energy, he has bound everyone to the ropes. These ropes comes in chapter 14, 17 and 18 of Bhagavad Gita. So these are the ropes of material nature. So for example, if a person is there, okay, let's take an example how a person is bound by the rope. For example, there is a theater. Okay, in the theater people are watching movies, and devotees don't watch, but people they do watch. So let's say there is a movie that is being played in the theater, and suddenly there is a fire. Okay, and as soon as there is fire, people will start panicking, start running here, there, everywhere, and then start shouting fire, fire. Like that they'll create panic. Then there are other type of living entities. They are simply sitting. They are saying, hey, this is a nice movie, everything is very good. Fire is yet to reach us, and it will take around 5 to 10 minutes for the fire to reach us. Till then, we'll enjoy the movie. This is another type of living entities. Then there is third type of living entities. These living entities, what they will do, these people, they will see, okay, how do I escape from this theater? So these are the three different type of people. Three type of people. One who is looking for the solution. Okay, how can I get out of this theater because there is fire? Second type of people are, okay, let us enjoy till fire reaches us. And third type of people, they are simply running here and there. They don't know what to do. They're simply shouting, screaming, and they are in panic. Okay, so if we see, these people are being pulled by three different type of ropes. So the person who is actually trying to escape, everyone is trying to escape, but who is intelligent, so he's being pulled by the mode of goodness. And the person who is running here and there, don't know what to do, these people are being pulled by mode of passion. And the people who are just simply sitting, waiting for the fire to reach them, and they want to enjoy the movie till then, these people are being pulled by the rope of ignorance. So that's how the different people are being pulled. Another example of this we can see is, for example, we are at a certain juncture, and right in front of us there is a temple, next to that is a shopping mall, and next to that is a bar where people can drink alcohol. So depending on which particular rope is pulling the person, he will end up either in the temple or in the shopping mall, or he'll end up drinking liquor. So this is how the Lord has created the modes of material nature, and it's very difficult. It's very difficult to overcome these modes of material nature. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, 14th verse, it is very mam maya durattaya. So Krishna is saying mam maya durattaya. It is very difficult to overcome the modes of material nature or the material nature herself. But there is a solution that he suggests. Mahamevi prapadyante maya metam tarantite. So it is not that Krishna is only creating problems. He's creating problem, he's creating situations, but then he is creating the solution. He's telling people, okay, this is the this is the creation that I have created, and this is how things are working. And if you want to get out of these things, then you need to follow such and such things. So that also Krishna only is telling that this is the design of this world. And so Krishna, like it's mentioned in the purport, like a question may be raised, since Kardam Muni was advanced in his spiritual life, why did he not ask the Lord for liberation? Because everyone is being pulled by the three modes of material nature. So Prabhupada also says in the purport that everyone is entitled for some material enjoyment because we are in the material body. So because everyone is entitled for some material enjoyment, so Kardam Muni is requesting the Lord, okay, I am also entitled because you only created this creation, this is your design, and I also have some material desires, so please fulfill my material desires. But the way he is requesting the Lord to fulfill his desires is not the way Daksha asked. So Dash Prajapati in 4th canto, like we know the pastime of Dash Prajapati, right? In the first section of the Srimad Bhagavatam of 4th canto, first section, so Daksh Prajapati offends Lord Shiva. and then he's finally, killed. And then he takes next birth. In the next birth, again, his name is Daksh, and he prays to the Supreme Lord, and he asks for what? He asks that, my Lord, please bless me so that I can have unlimited sexual intercourse. So that is what he is asking for. Okay. So here Kardamuni is also asking, and there Daksh Prajapati is also asking. But there is a difference. There is a difference. Here Kardamuni is getting the blessings, but when we talk about Daksh Prajapati, he is not getting that favor of the Supreme Lord. He is not getting liberated by that benediction of the Lord. So Prabhupada writes in the purport that it is not that when Daksh Prajapati is being blessed by the Lord to have unlimited sexual intercourse, that he is actually blessed, and then Lord Vishnu is doing a favor to him. And we get all type of thoughts. Okay, Daksh Prajapati is asking, so looks like it's a good thing. We can ask Lord Vishnu for such and such things. But Prabhupada is discouraging that in the purport. So he's saying in the purport only, Prabhupada is saying, Kardamuni is also asking for the same thing, and Prajapati is also asking for the same thing, similar thing basically. But there's a difference. The difference is of the magnitude. So Daksh Prajapati is asking unlimited. He's not saying limited. He's saying unlimited sexual power he needs. But here Kardamuni is saying, oh my Lord, I have some lusty desires. So please provide me ways so that provide me a wife who can help me fulfill these lusty desires, as well as help me in my spiritual life as well. So here we can see the goal of Kardamuni is to actually advance spiritually, but on the advancement path, because he is having a material body, he is having some material desires as well, which he is fulfilling in a way that Lord Vishnu suggests. So Lord Vishnu is basically the Lord Vishnu has created the scriptures, and he has given guidelines that you can enjoy materially. So it is not like that we should not enjoy materially, because we have this material body, we can enjoy materially, but the magnitude has to be small. There has to be some restriction. There has to be a limitation on how much we should enjoy. So if we enjoy as per those restrictions, as per those limitations, we are not entangled. But if we cross the limits, then we become entangled. Like we can see in the pastime of Daksh Prajapati, after getting that boon, he created a lot of progenies, but finally he ended up again offending Narad Muni. So that's the problem, because he was not doing in line with the intention of the Lord. So again he ended up, first he offended Lord Shiva, then he ended up offending Lord Narad Muni. So that's the problem that is there. Okay. So that's why it is very important that if we want to enjoy material, we should follow the laws of God, the instructions of God. One second, there's someone is at the door. Okay, sorry for the disturbance. Okay. So now there are people who also try to make laws, like Prabhupada is saying in the purport that Krishna is the one who manufacture religion. Nobody else should manufacture, or they cannot manufacture or concoct a religion, because religion refers to the injunctions or laws of the Lord. People should not try to do that. What happens if people try to make laws which are not aligned with the laws of the Lord? We will end up in some trouble. That's why we see in the scriptures there are so many kings, right? And they are all God conscious kings. Let it be Parishit Maharaj, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, Vavasvat Manu, and all these kings, the sun god Vavasvat Manu. So all of them are God conscious. They are saintly. So in Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, verse 1st or 2nd, Krishna calls them Raj Rishi. He doesn't call them kings. He calls them Raj Rishi. Raj Rishi basically means although they are kings, but they are Rishi as well. They are Sadhu. That's what Krishna is referring to them as. And but what happens? People, they keep creating their own philosophy, their own theory, and the first thing that they do is they say, okay, I don't read scriptures, I don't follow scriptures, I don't believe in God. Why do they say that? So that they can come up with their own theory. Because if they don't, if they believe in God, if they accept scriptures, if they read scriptures, they cannot come up with their own theory, right? So that's why they say, okay, I don't read scriptures, I don't believe in God, and this is my theory. And what happens because of this? Nowadays, there is a lot of confusion in the people. People don't know who is right, who is wrong. Then how do the people decide who is right, who is wrong? Okay, who is speaking very nicely, who is a very charismatic personality, who is having the very nice power to convince, who looks beautiful. You know? So anyone who talks nicely, looks beautiful, and are charismatic, people say, okay, I'll accept his philosophy. And what happens? Because the philosophy is not in line with the law, God's laws, they ultimately end up in the hell, or they will finally lead to wrong path. So give, for example, yesterday I was, watching something on YouTube, some lecture, and then YouTube gives some suggestions as well. So in one of the suggestions, there was a title. The title of the video was "Churning Lakshmi." Churning the ocean of market and getting Lakshmi out of it. So we have the churning, churning of the ocean. We have that pastime in 8th canto, and here this same this person who claims to be a leader, a religious leader. So what he is doing, basically, he's picking something from the scriptures and applying it in the material life, which is not in line with the scriptures. And there are people who say Ram is just a thought. Ram is not a person, he's not a personality. There was no one like Ram. It's all stories. These are all concocted up stories. And Ram is just a thought. And there are other set of people. What do they say? Actually, nothing like Mahabharata happened. It's all fake. It's all false. Actually, Mahabharata, what it signifies, the Kurukshetra is our body. The 5 Pandavas are the 5 senses. And the person who was listening to this bogus philosophy said, and you are Dhritarashtra, you are the blind person. Like this. So, like this, many people, because they don't read scriptures, they don't follow scriptures, they don't believe in God, they create such wrong philosophies, such wrong mindset they have. And how can we, get the proper understanding what is right, what is wrong? That's why we should read Prabhupada books. Prabhupada very nicely explains, okay, this is what it is, and this is right, this is wrong. And by reading the scriptures as given by Prabhupada, by reading the purports given by Prabhupada, we become capable to understand, okay, this person is saying some bogus philosophy. Otherwise, what will happen if we don't read Prabhupada books, if we don't hear Harikatha? We will be carried away, because what we will see, okay, this person is saying churning the ocean of market and getting Lakshmi out of it. Oh, this looks very religious. This looks very in line with the scriptures, because we don't know what is the scriptures. And we should not see Lakshmi as a playful thing. And here the title itself is offensive, because the person is saying churning the ocean of market to get Lakshmi. Okay, so very bad title. And he's actually a very famous person. He has written his book also, I think, My Gita. I don't know, many of you may even have understood what is the person's name. He's from Odisha. I'll not name that particular person, but yeah, you can understand. So he's not just single person. There are a lot of people like that who are misguiding people out there. And even some people, they claim themselves to be God. These are all misleading. So that's why very important that we remain in devotee association, read Prabhupada books, understand them, so that we don't get carried away by these false leaders, fake leaders who are actually leading people to hell. Some are directly, straight away saying, oh, I don't believe in God. But there are these people who are more dangerous, who say, I believe in God, I believe in scriptures, and this is my philosophy. These people are super dangerous. It's little difficult for us, for a beginner, to identify what is wrong with their understanding of philosophy, what they are saying, is it right, is it wrong, so like that. Okay, so unless we know scriptures, we won't know who is correct. So that's why when we know scripture, we will easily know, okay, this person is right, this person is wrong, because scripture said that criteria. Okay, now coming to the wife pastime, like Kardamuni is asking for a wife. Now we'll compare it with, because we are in the month of Kartik, and in this particular month we have Diwali, which where all the residents of Ayodhya, they celebrate that Ram is coming back after killing Ravan. And in this particular month only, on Narka Chaturdashi, that is the day when actually Lord Krishna killed Bhaumasur, and he uh, helped 16,100 queens or princesses who were in his captive, who were captured by him. Okay, so Kardamuni wanted a wife, so he actually asked the Supreme Personality of Godhead, please help me. Okay, then on to and if we see a bad way of doing that is, okay, I don't believe in God, I don't want God to help me, I'll just go myself and pick the wife, whoever I want, I'll pick them up. So that is Bhaumasur mentality. Okay, so these type of people, they are the people, like Prabhupada says in the purport, everything belongs to the Lord, we should not encroach upon another's property. So these are the people, Bhaumasur people. What they do, they say, okay, everything is mine, I am the proprietor, I don't believe in God, I don't accept Lord's authority, so I'll go and I'll pick wife for myself, I don't care for anyone. And finally what happened, Bhaumasur was ultimately killed. Then the worst case is Ravan. What is worst in that? He didn't kidnap some random lady, he kidnapped God's wife only. No random lady, some random lady simply kidnapped Ram's wife. So many people told him, hey, are you foolish or what? His uncle Marich, he told, his wife told, Mandodari told, everyone, whoever were his well wishers, everyone told him, even his brother Kumkaran, Vibhishan, they told him that you are not doing right, you should not steal someone else's wife like this. And it's not just stealing someone else's wife, it is stealing Lord's wife. So here Krishna is saying in like Krishna is the proprietor of everything, and instead of trying to take something from the property, you are taking Lord's wife only. It's extremely bad example, extremely bad way of doing things. So this is a Ravan mentality, directly attacking Lord. So Bhaumasur is attacking the Lord in a subtle way. Okay, I don't accept your authority, but here Ravan is challenging the authority only. Ravan is directly trying to be in conflict with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And what happened finally, we know Ravan was killed, Bhaumasur was killed. But Kardamuni, actually all wanted wives, right? They all wanted to marry, they all wanted wives. But Kardamuni, he got blessings of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then Supreme Personality of Godhead himself appeared as his son. That's the mercy that he received. Okay. So one should understand that we are not the proprietor. As Prabhupada says in the purport, we are not the proprietor. And even in the scriptures, like even demigods should not think they are proprietor, they are independent. Like when Lord Krishna, he told Nand Baba, Baba, don't offer anything to Indra, offer everything to Govardhan. Then when Indra got to know this, he couldn't do anything because Indra is not independent. So Indra is not independent, so he couldn't do anything. He tried to, do a lot of problems here and there. He called Samvartaka and a lot of rain for 7 days, 7 nights. Nothing happened. Nothing happened to Krishna or any of the residents of Vrindavan. So from this we can understand even demigods are not independent. And many times we see people are simply, worshipping a particular demigod. So in the demigod worship also, if Vishnu worship is not included, we don't get result for that worship. So Vishnu worship is a must. Even in like at home when there's some Diwali puja, Holi puja, any puja that happens at my home. So I see the pujari who comes, he'll start with some Vishnu mantra, Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu Mangalam, like that he'll start. Or for the purification, he'll say Om Abhavitra Pavitra Sarvavastha Gatopi Vaya Smarit Pundarikaksha. So Pundarikaksha is basically Lord Vishnu. So that's how, like if you want to get result of any of our activities, Lord Vishnu has to be there, Lord Krishna has to be there. If Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu is not there in our activities, there is no result for that. Okay. So yeah. So with this, I would like to conclude. Any devotee has any question, any comment, any feedback on today's discussion? Okay, if nothing is there, I would like to close. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
एक मिनट, मुझे आवाज नहीं आ रहा है। I'll just है क्या? सॉरी, आवाज नहीं आ रहा था। ओके, नथिंग, डोंट नो, आवाज नहीं आ रहा है। ओके।